My girlfriend texted, "I'm 8 weeks pregnant and you will pay child support for 18 years. I responded, "Let's talk in person." Then I showed her test results from 2 years ago proving I was sterile. When she started crying and admitted she doesn't know who the real father was then, original post I, 31 male, got the text on a Thursday morning while I was at work, just sitting there, reviewing quarterly reports, when my phone buzzed. "Madison, we need to talk. I'm 8 weeks pregnant. You're going to be a father whether you like it or not, and you will pay child support for the next 18 years. Better start saving now." I stared at my phone for a solid minute. Madison, 29, and I had been together for about 14 months. Things had been rocky lately. She'd been pushing hard for engagement, talking about timelines, biological clocks. I'd been honest that I wasn't ready for that level of commitment yet. We'd had some pretty heated arguments about it, but pregnant? That was impossible. Literally impossible. See, 2.5 years ago, I'd been diagnosed with testicular cancer. Caught it early, thank God. But the treatment, surgery, radiation had consequences. My oncologist ran tests afterward. 0 sperm count, complete azoospermia. I was sterile. The doctor said the chances of it reversing were basically non-existent. I'd told Madison about the cancer early in our relationship, but I'd kept the sterility part to myself. Not sure why exactly. Maybe because it felt too personal too early. Maybe because I wanted to see where things went first. Looking back, that was probably a mistake. But here we were. I texted back, "Let's talk in person. Can you come by my place tonight, 7 p.m.? No games, Derek. I'm keeping it and you're paying. Period." Me, "I understand. Please come over so we can discuss this properly." Madison, "Fine, but I'm bringing my sister as a witness." Perfect. Witnesses would actually help my case. I left work early, went home, and dug through my filing cabinet. Found the folder marked Medical 2022. Inside were all my cancer treatment records, including the fertility test results. Multiple tests, all showing the same thing. Sterile. 0 sperm count. I made copies of everything. Then I called my buddy Craig, who's a family lawyer, gave him the quick version. "Dude," Craig said, "you need to record this conversation. One-party consent state, totally legal. And whatever you do, don't sign anything." 7 p.m. rolled around. Madison showed up with her sister Bethany, 32F, in tow. Both of them had this smug, triumphant look. Madison was actually wearing a shirt that said "Baby Mama" on it. Subtle. They sat on my couch. I sat across from them in the chair, my phone recording in my shirt pocket. Madison launched right in. "So, I did the math. Child support in this state is 17% of your gross income. With your salary, that's about $1,100 a month for 18 years, plus medical expenses, childcare, college fund." Bethany chimed in. "And Madison's thinking of reducing her hours at work, so you might need to pay alimony too." "Can I ask a question first?" I said calmly. Madison rolled her eyes. "What?" "When did we last have sex?" She looked annoyed. "I don't know, like 6 weeks ago? 7? Why does that matter?" "Just trying to understand the timeline. You said you're 8 weeks pregnant." "Yeah, so?" I pulled out the medical folder. "Madison, I need to show you something." I handed her the test results. Watched her face as she read them. The smugness drained away, replaced by confusion, then panic. What is this?" "Those are my fertility test results from 2 years ago. I'm sterile, Madison, have been since my cancer treatment. 0 sperm count. It's medically impossible for me to be the father." Bethany snatched the papers. "This is fake. You're lying. There are 3 different test results there from 2 different labs. Look at the letterhead. Look at the dates. Call the clinics if you want to verify." Madison's hands were shaking. But I'm pregnant. "I believe you are, but it's not mine." The room went dead silent. Then Madison started crying. Not sad tears. Angry, frustrated tears. Bethany went into attack mode. "You probably got the tests wrong. Mistakes happen. Madison hasn't been with anyone else." "Then we can do a prenatal paternity test," I said. "They can do it as early as 7 weeks now. Just a blood draw from Madison. I'll pay for it. If I'm wrong, I'll take full responsibility." Madison's crying got harder. I can't." "Why not?" I asked, though I already knew the answer. She looked up at me, mascara running. Because I don't know who the father is, okay? Are you happy now?" Bethany's mouth fell open. "Maddie, what are you talking about?" Madison turned on her sister. "Just shut up, Beth. Shut up. How many? I asked quietly. She wouldn't look at me. 2. Maybe 3. Maybe. There was this thing at Garrett's party. I was really drunk. I don't remember everything. I nodded, felt oddly calm. And you were gonna pin this on me? Make me pay for 18 years for a kid that couldn't possibly be mine? Bethany tried to salvage. Well, you're still her boyfriend. You should still support her. I actually laughed. I was her boyfriend. Past tense. We're done. And legally, I have zero obligation to support another man's child. Madison stood up, suddenly angry again. You led me on, talking about the future but never committing. I had to explore my options. Your options included lying about paternity and trying to trap me financially? I wasn't lying. I thought it could be yours. You literally just admitted you slept with multiple other men. Because you wouldn't commit. The entitlement was staggering. She cheated, got pregnant by someone else, and somehow this was my fault? Madison, you need to leave. Now. She grabbed her purse. This isn't over. You can't just abandon me. I'm not abandoning you. I was never responsible for you in the first place. You need to figure out who the actual father is. They won't. They're not, she stammered. Not what? Not interested in being trapped either? Bethany pulled Madison toward the door. Come on. We'll figure this out. As they left, Madison turned back. You're cruel, you know that? Heartless. No, Madison. I just refuse to be scammed. Update 1, 2 days later. The entitlement escalated fast. Friday morning, 8 a.m. I'm getting ready for work when there's pounding on my door. It's Madison's mom, Diane. This woman who'd always been sweet to me looked ready to commit murder. Derek, open this door right now. I opened it but kept the chain on. Diane, how dare you abandon my daughter in her time of need? I'm not the father, Diane. It's medically impossible. I don't care about your little tests. A real man would step up. A real man doesn't pay for another man's kid after being cheated on. She actually tried to push through the door. You're going to support my daughter. She chose you. That baby needs a father. Then she should find the actual father. Those were mistakes. You're the one she loves. I pulled out my phone. Diane, I'm recording this interaction. If you don't leave, I'm calling the police. She backed off but kept yelling. You'll regret this. We'll destroy you. Destroy me? For not accepting paternity fraud? The delusion was incredible. That afternoon, my phone started blowing up. Social media posts from Madison. She'd gone nuclear. Some men talk about responsibility but run at the first sign of difficulty. Thought Derek was different. Guess not. Deadbeat, fake man, abandoned and pregnant. Her friends piled on. Comments about how all men are trash, how I was probably lying about being sterile, how I should man up. Then came the kicker. A GoFundMe. Help a single mother to be abandoned by her partner. Goal, $30,000. The description painted me as a monster who dumped her the second she got pregnant. I screenshot everything and sent it to Craig. His response? Perfect. She's admitting publicly that you're not the father while trying to shame you into paying. This is extortion. But Madison wasn't done. Saturday morning, I get a text from my boss. Derek, need to see you Monday morning. Getting concerning calls about you. My stomach dropped. She'd called my workplace. I called my boss immediately. Explained the situation, offered to show him the medical records. He was understanding but said HR would need to be involved since she'd made serious accusations. What accusations? According to him, Madison had called claiming I'd coerced her into unprotected acts and was now abandoning my responsibilities. This was insane. She was trying to destroy my career because I wouldn't pay for another man's baby. Then came the text from a number I didn't recognize. Hey man, this is Tyler. Madison gave me your number. Just wanted to know I'm going to be a father to that kid. Already told Madison I'll take responsibility. Stay away from her. Tyler. One of the potential fathers, apparently. I texted back. Congrats on the pregnancy. To clarify, you're confirming you slept with Madison while she was with me, and you're the potential father? Yeah man, she said we were on a break or whatever. I'm stepping up unlike you. I screenshot that immediately. Admission of the affair in writing. 20 minutes later, another unknown number. Derek, it's Vince. Madison says I might be the father. Can we talk? Vince. So Tyler thought he was going to be the daddy, but Vince was also in the running. This was becoming a circus. I didn't respond to Vince. Not my problem to sort out. Madison called 17 times that night. Left voicemails oscillating between sobbing apologies and vicious threats. My personal favorite: "You think you're so smart with your stupid medical records. I'll tell everyone you're not even a real man. Shooting blanks. Let's see how tough you are when everyone knows you're defective." Defective because I survived cancer. The woman I'd once thought I loved was calling me defective for being a cancer survivor. Update 2. 1 week later. Monday's HR meeting was interesting. I brought Craig with me. He came as my legal advisor, not representing me officially yet. Laid out everything: the medical records, the text admissions, the social media harassment, the recordings. HR's response was swift. They issued Madison a cease and desist letter. Any further contact with my employer would result in legal action. They also documented everything in case I needed it for a restraining order. But Madison had moved on to a new strategy. Wednesday afternoon, I got served with papers. She was suing me for intentional infliction of emotional distress and promissory estoppel. Her claim? I'd promised to start a family with her, false, and my revelation of sterility after she got pregnant was deliberate emotional abuse. Craig laughed when he read it. "She's claiming damages because you proved you're not the father? This is desperation." Her lawyer, some ambulance chaser named Phillips, had also sent a settlement offer. Drop the lawsuit for $50,000 to avoid lengthy litigation. Craig's response was beautiful. He countersued for defamation, harassment, and attempted fraud. Included all the evidence: her admission of multiple partners, the social media posts falsely calling me a deadbeat, Tyler's confirmation of the affair, the recording of her mother threatening to destroy me. But the real circus was just starting. Madison's GoFundMe had raised about $3,000, mostly from her friends and family. But then someone, definitely not me or Craig cough cough, posted Tyler's text admission in the comments. Wait, so she was cheating, and she doesn't know who the father is, and she tried to baby trap the boyfriend anyway? Refund. The GoFundMe got bombarded with demands for refunds. Madison had to shut it down and return the money. Then came the battle of the potential fathers. Tyler had been all macho about being a real man until Vince contacted him. Apparently, they got into it on social media. Tyler posted about becoming a dad, and Vince commented, "Bro, Madison doesn't even know which one of us it is." Their public Facebook argument was legendary. Tyler accused Vince of being a deadbeat. Vince revealed that Madison had told him Tyler was just a one-time thing, but told Tyler that Vince was nobody important. They compared notes and realized Madison had been playing them both for months. But wait, remember the maybe 3 potential fathers? Enter Brandon. Brandon was the party hookup Madison barely remembered. Except Brandon remembered everything, and Brandon's girlfriend found out. How? Madison had drunk texted Brandon asking if he wanted to be a daddy. Brandon's girlfriend went scorched earth, posted everything on Instagram, screenshots of Madison propositioning Brandon while dating me. Madison begging Brandon to claim the baby. Brandon refusing and blocking her. The narrative Madison had carefully constructed, abandoned pregnant woman, crumbled spectacularly. Her sister Bethany tried damage control, posted about how women should support women and how everyone was victim-blaming a pregnant woman in crisis. Someone responded with, "Your sister tried to commit paternity fraud. That's not victim-blaming. That's criminal blaming." Then came Friday. Madison showed up at my apartment complex at 2 a.m., drunk, with her mom. Started screaming in the parking lot. "Derek, I know you're in there. You ruined my life. You owe me. That baby needs a father. Be a man." I called 911, told them my pregnant ex-girlfriend was having a mental health crisis in the parking lot. The cops arrived, tried to calm her down. Madison took a swing at one of them. Bad move. They arrested her for public intoxication and assaulting an officer. Diane tried to interfere and got arrested too. The building security footage was perfect. Madison screaming about how I owed her for wasting her prime years. How she deserved my support regardless of paternity. How she'd make me pay one way or another. Craig added the footage to our harassment file. Update 3. 3 weeks later. The legal fallout was swift. Madison's assault charge got pled down to disorderly conduct, but she got 6 months probation and mandatory anger management classes. The arrest also tanked her bullshit lawsuit against me. Hard to claim emotional distress when you're on camera drunkenly demanding money and talking about making me pay. Phillips, her lawyer, dropped her as a client. Apparently, even ambulance chasers have standards. Our countersuit proceeded. Madison tried to claim poverty, but Craig subpoenaed her bank records. Turns out she'd been getting regular deposits from both Tyler and Vince for the past 3 months. Both thought they were helping with baby prep. She'd been playing them both for cash while trying to lock me down for long-term support. The judge was not amused. Ordered her to pay my legal fees, $8,500 and $5,000 in damages for defamation. Also granted a 2-year restraining order. But the paternity drama reached soap opera levels. Madison convinced Tyler to go to a prenatal appointment with her, posted photos on Instagram about my baby's daddy stepping up. Tyler looked proud. Vince saw the posts and lost it. Commented with screenshots of Madison texting him the night before saying Tyler meant nothing to her. Brandon's girlfriend jumped in with more screenshots. Madison had apparently tried to reconnect with Brandon, saying neither Tyler nor Vince had long-term potential and maybe they could work something out. The 3 potential fathers eventually met up. Compared notes. Realized Madison had told each of them different due dates to match when she'd slept with them. Was playing them all. They agreed to all take paternity tests when the baby was born and let the results decide. But Tyler and Vince both stopped giving her money. Brandon had never started. Madison panicked, started texting me from app numbers, emails from throwaway accounts, begging. The entitlement was still there, but wrapped in desperation. Derek, please. I chose you for a reason. You're stable. You have a good job. These other guys are losers. The baby deserves better. Don't you care about an innocent child? I made mistakes, but I love you. We can make this work. I'll sign whatever you want. Prenup, paternity waiver, whatever. Just please help me. You're really going to let your child grow up without a father? Even if it's not biologically yours, you could still be dad. Lots of men raise other men's kids. That last one made me laugh. The audacity to suggest I should be grateful for the opportunity to raise the child she conceived while cheating on me. I forwarded everything to Craig for the restraining order violations. Each violation was another nail in her legal coffin. Her mother Diane tried a different approach. Showed up at my work, in violation of the cease and desist, with tears and an elderly woman, Madison's grandmother. Security stopped them in the lobby, but Diane made sure to loudly announce, his sterile sperm is going to make my daughter homeless. Her grandmother is heartbroken. What kind of man does this to a pregnant woman? Security called the cops. Diane got arrested again. The company filed a formal trespassing complaint. Diane was banned from the premises permanently. The grandmother, who seemed genuinely confused, kept asking, but why won't he marry Madison? She's pregnant. Nobody had told Grandma about the multiple potential fathers, apparently. Update 4, 2 months later. Madison had the baby last week, a girl. The social media announcement was subdued compared to her usual style. No mention of a father. The paternity test results came in yesterday. Craig forwarded me the court filing because Madison had tried one last Hail Mary, petitioning to have me tested for paternity despite my medical records. The judge's response was basically legal speak for, "Are you kidding me?" But here's the twist. None of the 3 tested men were the father. Not Tyler, not Vince, not Brandon. There was a 4th guy, someone she hadn't even remembered or thought to mention. Turns out, during the time she was juggling all these men and trying to lock me down, she'd also had a one-night stand with a guy named Curtis from her gym. Only found out because Curtis's ex-girlfriend saw the baby announcement and did the math. Contacted Madison with her suspicions. Curtis is married. His wife is pregnant with their 3rd kid. The explosion from that revelation made everything else look tame. Curtis's wife went full detective mode. Found out Madison knew he was married, had specifically targeted him because he'd mentioned having money troubles and wouldn't be able to fight for custody. Tyler and Vince both blocked Madison completely. Tyler posted a long Facebook rant about dodging a bullet and never trusting women again. Vince just disappeared from social media entirely. Brandon's girlfriend reached out to me, actually. Thanked me for standing my ground and exposing Madison's scheme. Said it helped Brandon see the truth before he got trapped. Madison's sister Bethany finally saw the light, posted an apology on social media. I owe Derek an apology. I believed my sister's version of events without questioning it. I encouraged her behavior and attacked an innocent man. I've learned that family doesn't mean enabling terrible behavior. Derek, if you see this, I'm truly sorry. Madison responded by calling Bethany a traitor and cutting her off. Last I heard through the grapevine, my coworker's girlfriend knows Madison's cousin. Madison is living with her parents. Curtis's wife is divorcing him and going after Madison for alienation of affection. Curtis wants nothing to do with the baby. Madison is working part-time retail because her previous employer fired her after the arrests. She's trying to get child support from Curtis, but he's claiming financial hardship due to his impending divorce. Her parents are raising the baby while she figures things out. The last email she tried to send me, which Craig handled, was 2 days ago. Derek, I know you hate me, but I'm drowning. The baby needs formula and diapers. Curtis won't help. My parents are stretched thin. I'm not asking you to be the father. Just a loan, please. I'll pay you back. Craig's response was to file for contempt of court for violating the restraining order again. Final update 3 months later. Just a quick final update because Craig says I should document everything. Madison pled guilty to contempt of court for the repeated restraining order violations. Got 30 days in jail, suspended, and extended probation. She also now owes me an additional $3,000 in legal fees on top of the original judgment she hasn't paid. Curtis's divorce was finalized. His ex-wife successfully sued Madison for $15,000 in an alienation of affection case. Madison declared bankruptcy to avoid paying. The baby's birth certificate lists no father. Curtis signed away his parental rights in exchange for not paying child support. Madison agreed because she needed him to not contest the alienation lawsuit. Her parents are basically raising the baby full-time now. Madison apparently spends most of her time trying to become an influencer mommy on TikTok. Has about 200 followers. Her videos are about surviving narcissistic abuse and single mom life. The comments are brutal. Lots of people know her real story now. As for me, I'm doing okay. Still processing the betrayal, not gonna lie. 14 months with someone who could do all that. It messes with your head. It messes with your head. But there's a silver lining I didn't mention before. About a month ago, I decided to get my fertility retested. Just curious if anything had changed. Still sterile, but the doctor mentioned something interesting. There's a new experimental treatment that might help in cases like mine. No guarantees, expensive as hell, but possible. If I ever meet someone worth trying for, at least there's a chance. Not that I'm looking right now. Trust issues are real. But my therapist says that's normal and healing takes time. Madison still owes me $16,500 total, original judgment plus contempt fees. Will I ever see it? Probably not. But Craig says we can garnish wages once she has steady employment. The judgments don't go away, even with bankruptcy. The restraining order has another 20 months. After that, I honestly never want to hear her name again. Moral of the story? Always trust your gut. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And never, ever ignore red flags because you think you're in love. Oh, and get everything in writing. Everything. Thanks for following this insane journey. I'm closing this chapter and moving forward. Life's too short to spend it looking backward at people who never deserved you in the first place. Peace out. Edit. Since some asked, yes, I kept all the screenshots and recordings backed up in 3 places. Cloud, external drive, and printed copies in a safety deposit box. Craig says I'm paranoid, I say I'm prepared.